Okay, so I actually called a meeting this morning because I was very concerned about the safety of our communities out there, and especially in light of the unfortunate situation that happened last night in the Mangilao area, I guess near UOG, and got more information about the situation. But I was very concerned, and I felt that it had to be addressed from a community-wide perspective. So I invited the mayor, president of the Mayor's Council, Melissa Sevares. I wanted to involve the mayors. I wanted to involve the legislature under Clint Ridgell, Senator Clint Ridgell, and also, of course, the Councilor General for the FSM, and we also have the Councilor General of Palau here. There is not an RMI Councilor General, but we tried to reach out with them also. And our meeting was very productive. It was very looking at what we can do right now as an immediate solution to what we're seeing is happening. And then we talked a little bit about long-term solutions, the immediate solutions, and the mayors all totally agree with this, and also the Council General, Senator Clinton also, and the chief, is to have ongoing village community meetings with village residents, the community leaders, religious leaders, sports leaders, nonprofit organizations, and also spearheaded by the village mayors in the various village. I also asked and that's going to be an ongoing thing to also involve the council generals of the FAS. I have also asked the chief to step up patrol units in the various areas, and also have asked the mayors to step up their neighborhood watch programs. I want to also say that this has to be a village community strategy and a village committee effort, and ask the village residents if they see anything, they hear anything, or that there is concerns around their homes, around their streets, to please make sure they call the police and also the village mayors. I am very appreciative of the quick response of the police yesterday, and under the leadership of the chief, I think we'll see more of that, because it's very important to assure our community that we still live in a safe community. This is a situation that is unfortunate. I think it's been handled well with the response, and also with the efforts of the various leaders of those communities. So
did the media blow it out of proportion?
I think the media blew it out of proportion, and you'll see it from the chief. You want to say exactly what had happened, chief?
Yes, so starting to file provided a press release, and most of the media outlets have the release already. So, what we do know is that, there was an incident that occurred in the parking lot of a store in Mangilao near UOG. It involved 3 to 4 individuals. As a result, one person was stabbed with a machete. And unfortunately, the 2 people that were involved in the initial altercation with the victim started to just turn their attention to passersby for reasons unknown that not been established yet.
Clearly, you heard Judy Guthert speak about this. She spoke to a number of members of the
Sure,
media yesterday, and she was clearly upset and disturbed by this.
I'm not saying people were not disturbed or upset about it. They were definitely disturbed and upset about it. They feared for the safety of their lives. That is not at all being excused. Nothing's been said about that. And what former Senator Judy Guthert felt is her true feeling of how she felt. And of course, being attacked by a machete as a passerby is a very frightening situation. And I was looking at it also, and so this morning I I asked the chief to please come and attend this meeting so we can all look at how we as representative leaders of the community can address this. The two individuals that were responsible were arrested. They are arrested. They are removed from danger in the public. I don't know what I don't know what their disposition is going to be, but I want you to know that the chief tells me that they are aware of these individuals and that they are known individuals.
Can we ask the FSM
Hold
council for her reaction to these events yesterday?
Thank you. Very unfortunate events, for sure, and we're very saddened by behaviors of these individuals. Late last night, that's when I found out about the incident, and I tried to contact the police department to know what actually happened. I do believe that the news, kind of blew it out of proportion, mentioning maybe 5 to 6, turning it into like a gang activity. But I found out at this meeting that there were FSM citizens involved. The FSM consular office is very concerned and very saddened by this unfortunate turn of events. We are working with the governor's office and other organizations here on the island on how we can reach out to the FAS communities and see how we can help alleviate some of these occurrences from happening again. Thank you.
Governor, how did the media vote on our reporting? Can you explain more? Because
Well, when
all we
okay.
did was air Judy's entire interview unedited, and she was an eyewitness account. And she said
Well, as it developing story, there's 4, 5, 6 people attacking cars, and the way I visualized it is that there's this gang of people just standing on the road attacking cars. That's how I visualized it. From it's a developing story. I was in the car with my husband, and Jeff was reading the story to me. Oh my God, what is going on in Mangilao? And then it said, the police responded right away. I felt a little bit more assured by that. So that's how I, as a person reading that information, visualized it.
Don't you think we should be alarmed by people? I mean,
I'm not saying, Chris,
said it was 3
I'm
or
not,
4.
right.
Judy said 5 or 6. It's not like there's a big difference there.
I'm not saying that we should not be alarmed. Definitely we are alarmed. That is why I asked for this meeting. I am alarmed. I am alarmed for the safety of those people. I am alarmed for the fact that this individual or these 2 individuals are known to the police. They are recurrent offenders. I am alarmed by the fact that maybe it's a system dysfunction. There's a lot of things that I am concerned about. There's a lot of pieces that need to be addressed in order to make it a whole kind of solution. But as a start, calling the leaders together, I feel was the best way to do it, and that they themselves decided that there should be more down at the village level involvement and engagement of the residents. I just want to also say that, we have lived well with multi-diverse cultures. And we have lived well with the FAS community, the Palauan community, the Republic of the Marshall Islands community, people from the CNMI, people from the Philippines, from Korea, from China. We are a home that welcomes cultural diversity. And so incidents like this do concern me, because I don't want it to seem like this is a big impact in the community that we can't resolve. We can resolve this, and we can continue living in a safe, symbiotic relationship with multicultural. There are very concerned citizens, very sensitive to what's going on. The Council General is one of them among many of the FSM community, and even Senator Clint Ridgell is working very closely with the Chukis community, and he can, make a statement if he'd like.
Can we ask the
One
Senator
second,
Ridgell?
the governor only has a few more minutes.
But just some thoughts from Senator Ridgell. Chris will happen to mention outside that you provided some interesting explanations to help us understand the behavior that occurred yesterday during the meeting. Could you share with us your thoughts on what happened and what leads to this kind of?
Well, I don't know exactly what caused yesterday's behavior, so I can't speak specifically to that. So I think maybe I was talking more on the lines of what I think is maybe happening with regards to FAS, people of FAS descent, migrants, etc. From a traditional standpoint, the traditional community, the traditional way of self-policing has been split up and sort of fractured. So you have, for example, you might have kids living with a certain relative in one village, other relatives are in another village. So what I'm getting at here is, traditionally, it's that old saying, if it takes a village to raise a child. So in the traditional context, how that would happen is a kid would grow up in a village with all of the elders from their clan in that village. So if the kid acts up, the kid is not only getting in trouble from mom and dad, the kid's also getting in trouble from aunties and uncles from throughout the clan level. So they have a lot more people to answer to. So things were handled differently in that sense. Here, Guam and even in Chuk is the same way. A lot of families are split up and divided as they move around and migrate to different places. So here on Guam, for example, you might have a kid living with an uncle or an auntie, and his parents are maybe moved on somewhere else, or maybe the parents just send him up here to live with an uncle or auntie. Doesn't have that full familial structure. Families are sort of divided up differently.
So how do we stop this kind of behavior, curb the level of fear in the community,
You
which is
know,
real?
Kevin, that's, it's not an overnight solution. It's an ongoing, long-term solution, again, involving the whole community. It's how do you change behavior? How do you engage them? How do you make purpose for their lives so that they can become productive citizens of a community? It's a long process that needs to happen. But as a start, when the leaders are involved and they're working with the village, there's programs, there's projects, there's events that you can invite and engage the community to be involved in. So to me, I think it's constant work, it's diligence, it's commitment, and I feel that our leaders at this meeting have that. They are diligent, they're committed to making things, minimize these kinds of situations in our island. There are lots of different moving parts, like I say, drug abuse, substance abuse, prevention, treatment, all that. There's behavioral, social, economic, health reasons, dysfunctions of families, how to bring them together, education. It's a very complicated situation to look at, but I'm very confident that the leaders are sensitive to that and will work very closely together to start making, leeway.
And if I may, Governor.
Hasn't can these two individuals be released? Because the mayors are concerned that after a few days, they will be released back to the
It's up to
community.
the courts.
Yeah,
It's the courts, not
yeah.
the chief.
It's
Yeah.
not the chief.
Okay, okay.
Is it frustrating for you?
Okay, one more question. We really have to
For the governor,
leave.
because she has to leave.
Could I just ask what we could expect at the meeting that you guys are planning in Mangilao?
What I expect is that there'll be representatives from the religious leaders, representatives from sports leaders, representatives from government leaders, representatives from the consulate, from the legislature, and from the law enforcement. And the meeting's purpose is to sit down and just say, what are the ideas? What can we do on a village level? Even if it means, one of the solution is maybe we have a block you know, a social event and include all of the village people there. I don't know, they'll come up with, it's a more of a social kind of solution, and more of a level of, let's look at ideas from everybody and see what we can do. I
When's
mean,
this meeting scheduled?
the mayor of Mangilao is going to set it, and also the president of the mayor's council, Mayor
So no date
Melissa
yet.
Savar. No, there's no, but they're looking at maybe next week
Next
is what
week,
we're talking about. I'm sorry I have to go. Thank you so much for your attention to this matter. Thank you.